Hi guys, Josh here, and right now on Steam, there is an event going on until February 12th called the Steam Next Fest, where there are thousands of different game demos that you can try for free. I know it can be really overwhelming trying to decide which games you should try and which ones you should skip, but in the last week, I had the chance to try a lot of these demos that were available early. Some of them, the developers actually sent me the demos so I could check them out in advance, and also streamed a lot of these. So if you want to see some live streams of more demos in the coming week, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out, because I'll definitely be playing a lot more, but these are the ones that I played in the last 2 weeks. And so I'm gonna be doing a little tier list, and hopefully it helps you decide which games to try and avoid. So for this tier list, because all of the games are just demos, so they're smaller, more limited experiences, instead of doing the usual S, A, B, C, D, E, and all of the letters, we're just going to do A, B, C. So any game that goes in the A tier is a demo that I absolutely loved, and I 100% recommend you check it out. And then games that go in the B tier are games that I enjoyed, but are maybe not for everybody. And maybe they have some flaws, so I'm going to explain why whenever I put a game in the B tier, of course. And then we've got the C tier. So games in there are not necessarily bad, but if you only have a limited time to play some, like most people won't be able to play all of these demos, right? So if you only have limited time, maybe I would not necessarily recommend those. You can still try them, maybe you'll still enjoy them, but I didn't necessarily like them too much. Also, all of these games are like cozy games, simulation games, farming simulation games. We've got some like city builders and things like that. So there's a good variety of genre, I would say. But I always lean towards farming games. So there's a little bit of farming in there. But yeah, let's get started. And I'm going to pick something random. Actually, I'm going to start with Southfield because I just streamed this game. So it's really fresh in my mind. I played it a few hours ago. So this game, if you want to picture it, it's kind of like the physics from Fall Guys, but with farming. So your character is kind of like bouncing around everywhere, and it feels very clumsy when you play it, but like on purpose. And yeah, the physics are all just kind of crazy, and it takes a little while getting used to the physics and the controls, but it is a very beautiful game, very colorful. There's also a little bit of automation. There are some vehicles. There will be multiplayer in the full game, but the demo is only single player. So this game, I keep moving it around. I'm going to put it in the B tier. And it seems like there's a lot of content at first glance in the demo because you get all of these quests and they want you to grow so many different crops and you can like explore the world. But it gets repetitive very quickly because everybody just wants you to grow some crops. So you're going to plant them, harvest them, and like sell them or give it to the NPCs. And it's kind of like the same thing over and over again. And I'm guessing maybe once there's multiplayer, maybe it's going to be more exciting. But right now, I had to stop the stream at like an hour and a half because there's nothing like really interesting that I wanted to do in the game. And the building felt a little bit clunky. So I think this game looks really good. The physics are fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what they will do with it. To be fair, I didn't like Fall Guys because I found the controls a little bit frustrating. So if you didn't like Fall Guys, maybe this one is not going to be for you. I'm kind of hesitant actually between B and C. I think I'm going to put it in B, but it's definitely not for everyone. Before I play it again, I think I'm going to wait and check out the multiplayer mode because I feel like that might make the game more fun. And when I was playing Southfield, there was one game I couldn't stop thinking about, which was Oddsparks. So this one, I played it last week. And the reason why Southfield and like Oddsparks made me think of each other is because they both have automation. But I felt like in Southfield, the automation was, I didn't know what to really automate or do in the demo. But in Oddsparks, you start with the automation from the very beginning. So this one, I'm going to put it in the A tier. And I played this demo for like over 2 hours. And I could have played more, but I had other things to do. But honestly, this is so fun. I think if I had to pick maybe just one demo from this whole, like this one is so good. If you like automation, you gather resources and you have these little guys and you give them routes and they're going to gather the resources for you. and then put them in machines that are going to create other resources or like transform your materials. And if you've played things like Satisfactory or Factorio, you're really going to enjoy this one. There's so much content in the demo. There is even the multiplayer mode available in the demo, so you can play it with friends. All your group of friends can just download the game, play together. And honestly, this one is just so much fun. It's very addictive, and 100% you should check it out. And it also looks very nice. And one thing I want to say is that a lot of automation games like Satisfactory or Factorio, usually they're all kind of futuristic, but this one has a more like fantasy medieval theme. So it is nice to see an automation like fantasy game. But yeah, Oddsparks is so good. Check it out. Next, we have Echoes of the Plum Grove. This is a game I've been looking forward to for so long since it got announced. I even have an interview with the developers on my channel. I'll put that in the description. I'll also put the links to like whenever I streamed those games. So if you want to see some actual gameplay, this is a farming game that the developers describe as cozy with consequences because it is very cute. It has a kind of like Paper Mario-esque art style. It's very colorful. I just love the art of this game. It looks so nice. A lot of the gameplay is also what you would expect from a farming sim, but you can catch diseases, you can die, you have to make sure you save enough food for winter. So yeah, the game is gonna have some big consequences to add a little bit of a challenge. However, for this demo, I'm gonna have to put it in the B tier because it is quite short. So you start the game on a Thursday, if I'm not wrong, and it ends on a Sunday. So basically, you can only play 4 days. And a lot of the crops you get, you won't even have time to grow them. I think there's like one type of crop that you can actually like finish growing and harvest in the demo. And in the latest build of the demo, they added like house decor and things like that. But you can't even like make really enough money to buy everything that you need to properly decorate your house. And I feel like the demo is just so short that you can't properly enjoy all of the features of the game. So I'm really, really looking forward to the full release of this game. But just because of the way that the demo is built, I feel like it doesn't do the best job at showcasing all of the features of the game. And it feels a bit limited within those 4 days. So yeah, it's a good game, but not the best demo. So that's why it goes in the B tier. Now, our C tier is looking a little bit empty, so let's fill it up with Capybarista. So this is a game where you're a capybara and a barista. So you have a coffee shop and you have to serve customers. So you have different machines. You have to grind the coffee beans. Then you can make either like regular coffee or espresso, and then you serve it to your customers. It looks kind of cute, but the controls are very clunky. The pathfinding for the NPCs is a little bit weird as well. Like when they go in your shop, it takes them forever to like find a way to sit at the table and just like run around everywhere. And it's a little bit weird. And also, this might be either a pro or a con depending on your preference, but there's no time limit. So your customer sits down and you can take 6 hours to serve them. It doesn't matter. And you're not going to get more money or more points for serving them fast. And one thing I love usually about restaurant games is like trying to be as fast and efficient as possible. But in this one, there's no time limit. So it feels like there's no challenge. And yeah, I couldn't really enjoy that one. So I would recommend just skipping it. Next, we have Makeroom, and we're gonna make some room in the A tier for this one. This game is a very cozy, very relaxing game where you just like decorate a room. So you have a little square and you place down some furniture. You can resize the furniture. You can change the color. And it's very, very cozy and relaxing. They just updated it. So now they added some objectives. So if you want to like work on specific objectives, now there is that in the game. And it's very simple. You can play this for like 5-10 minutes, or you can play it for 1 hour, but everything feels very smooth and polished. And I might be a little bit biased for this one because if you enter the code joshsgaminggarden, I'm going to put it on the screen the way that you have to write it. You can get a watering can in the game. It works with the demo as well. And this is not like sponsored or paid or anything like that, but I do have an exclusive item in the game. So I wanted to like show it to you. But yeah, if you don't like decorating, obviously it's not going to be a game for you. But if you just want to chill and decorate a nice little room, check it out. Speaking of very relaxing, let's talk about the Spirit City Lo-Fi sessions. So this game, the demo has been available for a few months actually on Steam. I have 100 hours into this demo, so it would be unfair to like give it anything else than an A. And this game is not really a game, but more like a productivity tool. So pretty much you create your character and then your character hangs out in the room, either like at the computer or on the bed or something like that. And you just have some lo-fi music in the background. You can also even put some music from YouTube directly in the game. So yeah, you just listen to some music. You can have like a to-do list or like a Pomodoro timer in the game. So I feel like if you work from home, like I do, or like if you have to study or something like that, for me it really helps focusing on my tasks. So I have it on like my second monitor. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty nice. It really helps me concentrate, and I love it. So that is Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions, and yeah, I have 100 hours in this, so please check it out. And even if it's just the demo, it feels like a complete experience because there's quite a few options, and yeah, customization options. You can also have like a little spirit, like kind of like a little pet. But yeah, Spirit City, I definitely recommend. This actually reminds me of another game that I forgot to put in this tier list. I'm putting it now. Rusty's Retirement. So this one has a similar kind of vibe. So it's gonna stay at the bottom half of your screen, and it's an idle game. So you just like click on a few things, but a lot of the stuff is automated. And yeah, pretty much you have a little farm at the bottom of your screen, and you plant some crops. Then Rusty, the little robot character, is gonna harvest them, and then he can transform them into biofuel, and then you can use that biofuel to fuel some robots that are gonna do more work, and then you can expand and expand your farm. And I think it's really cute. It is a nice idea, but for me, it distracts me. Whereas Spirit City helps me staying focused, this game just distracted me. So I tried it to like write a video while I had this on the bottom of my screen, and you can change the size, so you can make it smaller or bigger. But honestly, I'm gonna put it in C because I think it's a really good idea, but it's just really not for me. So the next game is also going in the A tier, and it is called Été, which means summer in French. And I never talked about it on my channel, but I decided to try it a few days ago, and I had so much fun. I played for 2 hours. You can play 7 days in this game, and I made the most out of it. And I kind of want to play it again. So in Été, you play as an artist who moves to an apartment in Montreal for the summer, and you need to sell some paintings to make money. And so basically what you do is you walk around, and when you walk around, it really looks like you're in Montreal. The architecture, the atmosphere, just if you've ever been to Montreal, you're definitely gonna recognize the vibes when you play this game. So at first, everything is all white, but you need to use your cursor to kind of like paint the world. You don't actually choose the colors or anything like that. You just hold your cursor on an item and like you try to cover the whole area of the item, and then the color is gonna come back into it. And you will then get this item as a reference that you can use in your painting. So you just go around, you color everything, and it looks so beautiful. And the more stuff you color, the more levels you gain. So you can do like bigger strokes and things like that to color more stuff at once and color like bigger items. And yeah, honestly, the vibes are just so good in this game. And you will get some quests from characters. So for example, there was one quest, like the mom was trying to make her kids eat some like healthy cereals, but they didn't want to eat it. So she then asks you to like paint a cereal box with like kind of like a Lucky Charms with like a rainbow and like clovers and stuff like that. So then you go into the painting mode and you pick all of the reference items that you found in the world, and you can like resize them, you can rotate them, and yeah, you can really kind of like make your own paintings. And honestly, it was so much fun. You can also decorate your apartment. And honestly, I'm really, really looking forward to the full release of that game. And it feels like a nice little trip to Montreal for free. So check it out. Next, let's talk about Shinehill. So this is a funny one. So you're an alien who crashes and you end up on the like planet Earth or like a planet with humans. And basically, you transform yourself into a human and you try to make sure that people don't find out your true identity. And yeah, at first, it seems like a classic regular farming sim. I will say the reason why it's going into B tier is because the controls are quite clunky. There's also some things that the game doesn't explain too well. For example, there's a mini game when you try to catch crabs on the beach. The minigame is so hard and like not explained very well. The developers did tell me that they worked on it, so I don't know if it's updated right now, but they are definitely working on some improvements. But the story is quite interesting, and it takes maybe 1 hour to finish the demo. And at the end, something really funny and unexpected happens, and I don't want to spoil it. If you've seen it during my live stream, you know what it is. But that was quite interesting. So I'm curious to know what's gonna happen next. But I feel like the story is gonna be pretty fun in this game. While on the topic of aliens, let's talk about a little known Galaxy. This is a long demo. I played it for 4 hours, so there's a bunch of content, and I didn't feel bored at any time during those 4 hours. So this feels like a kind of classic farming sim, but the twist is you're on a spaceship. So there's a whole area of the ship that you can decorate, and there's also like 7 different floors, and each floor has like different shops, different rooms. So it's like a little community that lives on the ship, so you're not by yourself. And you can also explore other planets where you're gonna get materials. So instead of just going into a mine, like in most games, you actually go on different planets. You also have like a little laser gun that you can use to fight monsters. And the pixel art is just really good. There's so much content in the demo. The characters are interesting. The game mechanics are fun. And it's just a very charming game. If you like farming games, I'm pretty confident you will like this one, and I can't wait to play it more. Next, we have Kamaeru, a frog refuge. This one, I'm not sure between B or C. I think I'm going to put it in C. So I would say this is a very beautiful game. I really like the art style, but the gameplay itself was not the most exciting. It feels a little bit like a mobile game. So the main gameplay loop in this one is you grow some crops, then you harvest them, you use it to make some jams. There's a little cooking minigame for the jam, but it's not that interesting. And then you sell it, and you can then buy some furniture. So you place down that furniture, you can decorate a little bit, and then frogs will appear and start using your furniture. So you can take pictures of the frogs, and if you find some bugs, you can give some food to the frogs to tame them, and later on you can breed the frogs. But I feel like there was not too much substance to the game, and all the frogs, like, they have slightly different patterns and colors, but they look pretty similar. And everything is just like kind of like point and click. And as I said, it very much felt like a mobile game to me. I played it for about 1 hour, so I did pretty much everything I could do in the demo. And I don't know, I feel like there's nothing that really stood out that really makes me want to play this game again. Even the full release, I don't know if I'm really that excited for the full release. So yeah, it's cute, but that's pretty much it. Next, we have Reus 2. This game is a sequel to Reus 1. If you've played it, basically it's a kind of god simulator. So you have a little universe or a little planet, and you have different creatures. It actually reminds me of Black and White. If you've played the old like Black and White games, which were on PC maybe like 20 years ago, this is kind of similar to that actually, but in 2D. So each of your creatures can create different biomes, and then you can develop some villages in those biomes, put some food and some animals for the people to eat and survive, and like have enough resources. And yeah, the game is pretty fun, but I will say it doesn't explain its mechanics very well, or it explains them, but it's kind of overwhelming at first. There's a lot of text and a lot of stuff that might take a little bit of time to like get a good grasp on. So I think if you've played the first Reus, you will probably really enjoy this one. But I think it's worth giving it a try if you like those types of games. It is pretty fun. and the art style is interesting as well. I don't know if I'm gonna play much of the full game when it releases, but I still had a fun time with the demo, so I don't regret playing it, and I think it's worth checking out. Another kind of similar game is Green Again, and this one, I think I'm gonna put it in the C tier. This one is a city builder, so you have like a little colony, and you have to build outposts and houses for them. And then you need to gather some resources, build some farms, build some wells. So if you like RTS and city builders, it could be worth trying. But for me, the reason why I put it in the C tier is I felt like there were no stakes or like no challenges. I know there are a few different maps. There are 2 maps in the demo. Of course, there's going to be more in the full game. But on the first map, everything was like very easy. I felt like I could just like put farms everywhere and put houses everywhere. And also they kind of like all look the same. So visually, I think this was not the most interesting game. And I never really had to worry about like running out of food or my people dying or like failing in any way. So it felt a little bit too easy. I like to have some kind of challenges in my city builders. Whereas in Reus 2, I actually failed at the end of the demo. So Reus 2 is definitely more challenging. But Green Again, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to give it another try with like a different map to see. Maybe I just didn't play it enough. But I don't know. There's so many RTS and city builders out there. So it is hard for a game to stand out. And this one didn't do anything special for me. But one game that did do something special for me is Minami Lane. I would say this one, along with Oddsparks, are probably my 2 favorites. In this one, you have a street, and every day you can build one new building or like upgrade some of your other buildings. And this is kind of like a tycoon or management game. So there are 2 missions in the demo that you can do. In the full game, there's going to be 5 missions as well as a sandbox mode. And the demo took me maybe 2 hours or a bit less than that. So keep in mind, this is going to be kind of a short game. But yeah, you're going to be assigned missions, kind of like get a certain number of residents or get your satisfaction to a certain number. So every day as you play, you will have to check your residents and see what they have to say about your street. So you'll have different shops. For example, there's a boba shop and they will say maybe, oh, there's too much sugar in this boba, or there's too much cream, or something like it's too expensive. So you'll have to make some adjustments. And sometimes different residents will have different needs. So for example, in the second mission in your town, there's both young people and elderly people, and they both have different needs. So you're going to try to like satisfy both of them, but yeah, they don't like the same things. So it's really fun, kind of like micromanaging all of your little shops and things like that. It is pretty simple, but still quite fun. Also, the art style is so nice. This is such a beautiful game. You can customize the buildings a little bit, like choose the colors, so you can try to make your little street as cute as possible. But honestly, I've had way more fun than I anticipated with that game. And it comes out on February 28th for the full release. So I'll definitely play it again once it comes out. But yeah, the only thing is that the full game is going to be kind of short with 5 missions. And in the demo, there's 2 missions. So that's like 2/5 of the game, basically. So it is a pretty lengthy demo. But I'm thinking maybe some people will want to just like enjoy it all at once when it comes out. So that's one thing you may want to consider. Next, we have, let's talk about Dreaming Isles. So this game is a farming sim where you're also navigating the seas. So you have a ship and you can explore different islands. You can also do naval battles. And yeah, this one was quite interesting. I would say the farming is probably more kind of like a secondary or not the most important thing. You don't even have to water your crops in this game. They get watered automatically just with the rain. There's no watering can. And navigating the waters was quite interesting. In the demo, you could only go to 2 islands. So I met a few characters. Seems like the characters were fun. But yeah, I'm really much looking forward to the full release of this game. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend trying the demo. It's kind of like Shinehill. Like the demo is going to take maybe 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half. You know, one thing that I noticed, except for Little Known Galaxy, because that demo was just so good, all of the other more like traditional farming games, like Echoes of the Plum Grove, Shinehill, Dreaming Isles, they're kind of like longer games. And I don't know how I feel about just playing 1 hour or 2 hours of the game and then not being able to continue and not being able to play more. I feel like for demos, usually I enjoy like smaller experiences like Makeroom, Minami Lane, Ete. Like I can just enjoy like a small, kind of like almost like standalone experience instead of just like the beginning of a long journey that I can never finish. So as much as I love farming games, I feel like sometimes just being able to play a few days is kind of annoying. I would say if you really want to play a farming sim, I would go with Lone Lone Galaxy first, and then Echoes of the Plum Grove, and then Dreaming Isles, and then Shinehill last if you want to play farming games. And well, we have another, but this one is quite different, is Lightyear Frontier. This one is going to go in the A tier. I played this one for 2 hours, and this game is so beautiful, by the way. It's been in development for so many years, and it's finally coming out in March 2024, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And basically, you're on an alien planet, and you're in a mech. So yeah, you're in this mech that has different tools that can be used to like harvest crops and water crops, and it is very fun to have these tools. You can also customize your mech, and you will explore the world and help kind of like restore the planet. So for example, in the demo, there's an area that has lots of slime. So you have to like clean up the slime with your vacuum, and everything just feels like so smooth and polished. And I had such a fun time with that game. There's also a little bit of decoration. I didn't decorate too much in the demo, and the full game will have multiplayer. So I think that will make the game even better. But yeah, I think it's a great demo because it showcases so many different features. Like I feel like I played it for 2 hours and I did so much stuff in those 2 hours. And yeah, it was honestly a lot of fun. And you can keep playing even like there's no time limit for this demo, I believe. So even after a certain point, it's gonna say like thank you for playing, but you can actually keep playing. So it's a really good one. Try it out. And the last game for today is Magical Delicacy. And this one, I'm not sure if I should put it in A or B. I'm going to put it in B. Honestly, I don't have much negative to say about this game, but it just doesn't stand out as much as the other games that I put in the A tier. But it's definitely, if I had to play maybe just one game in the B tier, I think it would be this one. Let's put it here between A and B because it is really good. So basically in this game, you're a witch who just moved to a new town, and you will open up your own little kitchen, and villagers will ask you to make certain dishes for them. So you're gonna collect some ingredients. You can buy some from the store, or you can also grow your own in your garden. And you're gonna have different cooking stations like a pot or a cutting board, and you will have to combine ingredients. And one thing I found interesting is that most recipes don't ask for specific ingredients. So they will say like vegetable or something spicy or something salty. So you can like play around with different ingredients. And yeah, it was really fun. I love the art style. It kind of looks like if Spiritfarer was in pixel art. So it has that like 2D side scroller platformer, and has similar vibes to Spiritfarer, but it's all in pixel art and it looks really good. The characters and the dialogues were quite interesting as well, and yeah, it just had a very nice atmosphere. Yeah, if you have time, of course, there's so many games to play, but I hope you get the chance to play this one. So let me know what you think of my tier list. If you've played any of these games, do you agree or disagree with my list? I really hope that this video was useful in helping you decide what demo you're gonna play next. And if you have a demo suggestion for me that I should play next, I'm gonna be streaming some demos this week, so feel free to let me know in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.